back from the dead.
Hey guys, Frozen Nexus here. As you probably know from my earlier video, a Targem developer known as Alexis TG, or Alexi, is doing an AMA on Reddit, and I thought I'd go ahead and summarize some of the questions that he's cleared up and given some hints as to what is the game going to be like and what we're going to be seeing in the future. So, just before I start, this is most likely going to have a second part as well, because this AMA's only been up for about a day and a half, 2 days now. So I'll probably go ahead and make a second part when they've answered more questions, but I'm going to try and keep it to only 2 parts, not drag this on for like a week. So let's get right into it. The first question, just so you know, I'm only going to be covering the important things, but the first question that was asked is there going to be a way or a change to the game that's going to make actually capturing the objective and, being a team player and defending the objective and things like that more rewarding than just slapping 40 radios on your vehicle and farming bots? And the developer responded to that and said they are actually currently working on a way to implement a method to reward players fairly for kills and playing the objective, so neither is more profitable than the other, and a combination of the both will be a better solution, or the most rewarding solution. And slapping 40 radios on your vehicle won't, be a way to just make a lot of scrap in that game. The next question is the changes to durability, which I've already made a video on this. Basically, if you didn't watch that video or you don't want to watch that video, they're going to make it so when you dismantle or scrap a part, you will get spare parts from that part. Spare parts will be organized by rarity, and you will get a random amount. You will get, if you scrap a blue part, you'll get blue spare parts, a purple part, purple spare parts, and so on. And you'll get a random amount of spare parts, which will be used to fix items and increase durability. The next question is, when is the next patch, which is, pretty cool that he actually answered in. They responded by saying they're trying to do a patch every week, which is a really good sign from developers in a closed beta that they're trying to get a patch out every week. And they may miss a week or two because, during crunch time, they're really busy, they're working on stuff, and they're not adding things to the game that aren't flawless. And you can make the argument, oh, well, the durability system isn't flawless, but I'm talking about fixes to bugs and adding weapons to the game, like the crossbows and the barrel dropper. I forget what the name was. I think it's Badaboom. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they are perfect in the game and they worked great. They don't want to just add weapons to the game that are overpowered, kind of like the Pyre launcher is. They're working on changing that as well, but they want to make sure that they don't just fill the game up with weapons and then just keep with the ones that people like or the ones that worked, kind of like a monkey throwing shit at a wall to see what sticks. They're actually going to add things that are fundamentally good and did well in the closed, they have a closed test environment that the developers play on, and they will, they make decisions based on what should be added and what should not be added. The next question is the choice to add 2-man teams intentional, or is that something that's going to be changed? And basically, they made the decision to make it only 2-man teams for now, because if you could have a team of 4 in PvP, you could absolutely steamroll the other team. Even 2 guys with just communication is really, really a huge benefit to your team. But if you had 4 guys coordinating with one another, sticking together the whole time, and actually flanking and distracting and doing things like that, you would destroy the other team round after round. And until they can figure out a way to make that balance, which to me I think will be when there are no more AI in the game, because if you have an 8v8, if you have a team of 4 people and a team of 2 or 3 on the other team, it won't be too unbalanced. So I think that's just an issue with not having enough players in the game, but they did say they are planning to increase the team size to 4 for PvE, and increasing the team size to 4 for PvP will be something added in the game, but not until a later moment. They're not working on that at the moment. They're more interested in keeping the game balanced. So for the time being, it will be a team of 2 for PvP until they can, again, work that out. Are there going to be any updates or new leaderboards. So basically right now there's only daily kills and top kills, and the top 3 players of each will earn coins, only a very small amount of coins each day they are in the top 3 of the leaderboards. They are not working on it at the moment, but they will be adding more leaderboards. Actually, he says possibly will be adding more leaderboards in the future. Sorry, but I personally think that's something they will get around to once the game is in a more stable state and that they have added enough content to the game to warrant needing more leaderboards. So possibly, once there are a lot of diverse weapons in the game, they can say who got the most ramming kills and who got the most projectile kills or bullet kills or cannon kills, etc. The next question is, how will will there be any more servers in different countries be opening? Currently, Australians have 350 to 500 ping, and he said yes, they are aware players are having some latency issues. The closed beta was mainly for US servers, that's why it is English based. However, EU and Russian players are quite easily able to connect. They will be adding more servers as time goes on, and once the players are more diverse. Obviously, there aren't very many people playing the game, and a very small minority of them are in Australia. So once more Australian players are playing, they will open up servers in Australia, but at the moment, I don't want to say it's not worth their money, but in a sense, they're putting their time and money into development, and until they are in a situation where it is an open beta, they have a steady flow of income, they aren't able to just go ahead and open up servers in every country. Then the next question was, how are indestructible parts acquired? And basically, I made a video on this, and I actually got it right. Indestructible parts are, you basically have a random chance of getting them when crafting. There are 2 types of them, obviously the structural ones, which are always indestructible, and then you have weapons and other things like that. So the weapons and the things that normally have durability, you get them as a small chance for crafting an item or a small chance from a container, but it is a very small chance and it's just based on being lucky. Other than that, he hasn't really answered too much. There are several questions about when are they adding another batch of players for free, and they are giving away codes via streams and events, so go watch out for closed beta keys there. And they're not really working on adding a bunch of players to the game right now. They have a pretty diverse player base. They are letting in some people here and there, but for the most part, they're not letting in huge waves of players to the closed beta. They're still working on getting the fundamental things of the game working, like they're just now getting around to fixing the durability and repair mechanic. So once the game is in a more stable state and they need more players to test things on a mass scale, which is usually the balancing stage of development when they're adding more weapons and things like that to make sure everything's balanced and works right. But for now, they're not adding in tons of players free or in waves, so yeah, your chances of getting in are still pretty slim. Your best chances are, just buying the game, because then you get in. There are several more questions asking about how copper gained in PvE events, if that's going to be increased or anything like that. They are currently working on balancing all forms of rewards, whether that be scrap in PvP or copper in PvE. They do feel that there is a bit of a discrepancy and there's quite a bit of a grind to crafting parts, and that takes too long. And so they're working on balancing that, of course, but again, they're working on some other issues like getting bug fixes in the game, optimizing the game, fixing latency issues, things like that. So yeah, just keep a lookout for that, because there will be changes, and that's really all there is so far. I've covered just about everything they've answered. There are a couple that I glossed over because some were just duplicate questions, but pretty much to sum it up, the repair mechanic's going to be changed. They're adding more servers in different countries as they get more players. They're going for 1 update a week. And as far as balancing rewards goes, they're working on it, but it's not just as easy as it sounds. They're working on making PvP rewards more balanced, and probably going to PvE and working on how those tables work, because gaining only 20 copper per normal raid is a bit redundant. So just watch out for any changes to the currency system. They may just decrease the amount of copper it costs to make things, or they may increase the amount you're rewarded. He didn't talk too much on that yet. And that's about all I have for you today. Keep a lookout for the part 2 video, and I hope you enjoyed and hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.